Buongiorno! Happy Sunday, everyone! Where we live, fall is definitely starting to set in, and there is nothing better on a Sunday afternoon than a bowl of pasta and a glass of red wine. I had another request for more Italian food, so today we're going to be making pasta Puttanesca, which means Lady of the Night, so it's hooker pasta. But it's a really good dish. Usually it uses anchovy fillets. We're going to leave those out and do it vegan style, but it still has plenty of salt. So we'll use olives and capers, and then we'll also add a lot of good spices. It happens to be maybe one of the healthiest and easiest pasta dishes you could make. So first, I've diced up about 3 large tomatoes. I'm also going to roughly chop some black olives. Calamatas are my favorite, so if you can find calamatas, I highly recommend them. And then you want to mince up about 2 to 3 garlic cloves. Over low heat, I'm just going to get some olive oil going in my pan. And then I'm going to add my garlic. You just want to push this around and make sure that it doesn't turn too brown. And then I'm going to add my olives and tomatoes. And then I'm going to add a tablespoon or 2 of capers. If any of the olive or caper juice gets in there, that is a-okay. It actually tastes really good. Now is the point where I'm going to start my pasta. I've given my sauce time to start and let it cook down a little, and now's a good time to do the pasta because then they'll be ready together. If you've ever made this recipe before, you know that it usually calls for canned tomatoes, but I used fresh. So usually canned tomatoes have spices already added in. Since I'm using fresh, I'm going to add my own. You could add a little basil, oregano, any of those extra Italian spices to help replace what would have been in the can. And then, to make this a little spicy, which I love, red pepper flakes. And then we'll just continue to let this cook down. So the capers and the olives will definitely add some saltiness to this sauce, but you want to taste it as you go along and decide if you want more salt. I'm going to add a little bit more. But just leave the salt to your personal preference. So a little trick with pasta that I like to do is not drain it. I like to take the pasta and put it right into the sauce, because the starch will help bind the sauce to the pasta. You don't want to lose that starch by draining it and washing it off. So I'm just serving this up, and what would be really great on top is fresh basil. And I don't know how many times in these videos I've said I live in Korea so I can't find such and such. I don't have fresh basil, so I'm going to chiffonade up some spinach leaves. I like that little extra green color on top of pasta dishes, so you can just the perfect Sunday.